Hey, so thanks for clicking on this video. Today I'm going to be using all of the pink art supplies that I own and making a nice artwork with them. So up front we've got some Sharpies, I got some fine liners and some regular fine tip ones, and a pink Pilot G2 gel pen. I think it's a gel pen, I don't really, maybe it's a ballpoint, I don't know. I have this little toucan washi tape, a pink gouache, a pink acrylic paint, an assortment of pink gel pens. Some are metallic and some, like this one here, are glitter. And then I have 2 Crayola watercolor pencils and then 4 Prismacolor pencils, and I have a nice variety of shades with these, so these are going to be the product that I use kind of overall. And then 3 pinkish Winsor Newton Pro markers. Alright, here's my little supply haul. I thought I had more pink than I did, so let me know if there's any other colors you want me to do in the future. I was thinking about doing red next. I love the color red. So I'm going to have all my supplies to the left, and then as I use them, they will be moved to the right side of the screen. So I think what my biggest inspiration for this picture that I'm going to be doing is this little sketch in the corner that I did while I was at a coffee shop. I know I initially drew it in purple, but I don't know, I just kind of liked the cutesy vibes and I just thought it was so perfect for pink. I love the space buns. So that's what we'll be doing today.
Wait a minute. Those are some sick stickers, dude. Where'd you get them? Alright, sorry for that shameless promotional segment. So the first thing I did was kind of swatch out some materials, and I don't want to bore you by showing you me swatching all of them, but I did learn that my acrylic paint was pretty much dried over and I couldn't really get anything out of it, so I threw it away. So first off, I used the lightest Prismacolor pencil I had to do the initial sketch. I think I'm going to definitely cut this bit down a little shorter because you already saw my pre-sketch from my sketchbook. And basically I'm just, starting really light and just drawing. And I think this material I used the most out of all of them, because even as the drawing would progress, I would go back in with this color to kind of blend things out to make it look seamless. I used this as the overall universal color, and it kind of touched a lot of different parts of this drawing. And so if you plan on doing this at home, I definitely recommend you do something similar, having one particular item that you kind of treasure and use that throughout, because while you're using all pink supplies, there's so many different tones in pink, there's so many different tones in blue and red, and all of these things, that it can lead to it not feeling cohesive. So that's my little tip and trick to you, is to have a single supply in order to enhance that balance. Alrighty, so I definitely cut down some of the sketching because I didn't want this video to be a million years long. So I decided to start with my gouache first, because I wanted it to have some time to dry and you can get that nice watercolor effect, and I knew it would be good on the bottom of the piece. So, I just got a little flat brush and pulled it straight from the tube, just kind of went ham. I decided to put it in, because it was one of my darker colors and my most saturated colors, I used it in the back to kind of anchor the piece, and then I would give her kind of the lighter pastel skin, and I felt like it would look nice and give it contrast. Right, here's it all painted in. Next I wanted to do the hair while the first layer of gouache or whatever was going to be drying. I realized I didn't really block in the hair very well on where I wanted to highlight, so here's an example of me going back in with that original like kind of peachy pink color and kind of designating where I want my highlights. And then shortly after this, I grab my pro marker in this nice, I think it's like pink carnation or something like that, and I start to fill in some of the darkest areas. I've noticed with experience that color pencil works so well on top of alcohol based markers like pro markers, Copics, you know, all the Prismacolor markers, and I love doing hair with color pencil. And so I thought it would be really nice if I did a layer of the pro marker for the hair and then did colored pencil on top of it later. And this is good because it kind of just quickly eliminates a lot of the white. And when you're working with colored pencil, you know, sometimes the white of the paper shows through, and you know, that's just not a look that we're going for, sis. So this was the first time I'd done pro marker on as a base layer for hair, and then did the color pencil on top. And I'm gonna say I'm pretty happy how it turned out, you know, like spoiler alert. So that's basically what I'm doing here. Of course, leaving the highlights open and free. And then I'm going in with the lighter shade and kind of blurring the line between the white highlight and the deeper pink carnation color. When I'm working with alcohol markers, I like to start with the dark color a lot of the time and then add on the light color to really fade it out. And then I added my last pro marker in to do the first layer of the shadows on some of the darkest areas of my drawing. I actually really liked how this turned out too, because I ended up layering, well, you know what? I'll save that as a surprise. You'll find out later what I layer on top. Alright, so next I'm going in with some washi tape, and I saw a video recently by Casey Golden here on YouTube where she used a lot of washi tape in her art, and I probably would have excluded this as an art, like as an art supply had I not seen that video. And I thought it was such a cute idea to use this fun little like tropical pink pattern to make a little like choker necklace. And so I start by laying down a piece of washi tape, and I then take my X-Acto knife and wow, look, there's my head. And I cut off like very exactly the lines where the necklace is supposed to come out. I would like to apologize because I'm a little new to this like recording overhead thing, and you don't really get to see the part where I'm cutting and doing the nitty-gritty. But you know what? I decided to leave it in because I kind of find it funny. Like, look how frizzy my hair is, and wow, what a scalp, Izzy. Great one, good one, quality content. Congrats. But you know, I was pretty happy with how it came out. So I would like to do another video in the future where I'm doing more washi tape stuff. I just found it really fun, and I have a lot of other washi tapes. Next I'm going in with my G2 Pilot, and I'm just kind of cleaning up the edge of where the gouache was because they were very similar colors. As you can see, I didn't do that for very long before moving to one of my Sharpies. So I put my Pilot pen back because I felt like it wasn't an honest use of it. So, and then that Sharpie that I did use, I put to the side because I used it quite a bit. Now I'm going in with my Crayola watercolors. It is the lighter of the two that I have, and just kind of hashing out the shadows on the face, having some fun, doing some things, I don't, I don't really know what to tell you. Just scribbling away. Alright, so after I'm done kind of roughing out those shadows, and this part does not need to be perfect, it's time to go in with a paintbrush with just like clean water on it. And this is kind of where the magic happens with watercolor pencils. It just magically turns into watercolor. And you're able to get like such beautiful gradients and mixed colors. It's a lot easier than having like a whole watercolor palette, especially if you're traveling. It's definitely hard if you're trying to do like a big wash and you can't really do a lot of the fun effects with it that you can with a regular watercolor. But I don't know, I remember when I first found out about watercolor pencils and I was just like blown away, and it'd been a long time since I've used them, and so just like doing this part of the drawing just kind of really excited me and made me want to do them again soon. So let me know if a little like watercolor pencil tutorial or something is something you want to see. So yeah, at this point the drawing's really starting to come together and it's getting me a little excited, so you know, let's just keep trucking through. So while I'm waiting for that first layer of skin to dry, I go ahead and head on up to the hair. Now when it comes to the hair, with colored pencils as opposed to the markers, I start with the lightest color and then eventually add on the darkest color layer. And so my favorite part about using colored pencils for hair is that you can get this very strand-like, you know, texture and look to them, where like with paintbrushes and stuff, unless you have like the tiniest little paintbrush, which I don't, it's really hard to get those super fine details. But I feel like when I'm working with colored pencils, it's just always some of the best hair I've ever done is with colored pencils. So basically it's just pretty time consuming. I kind of just do it like a strand at a time, and yeah, that's why I like having the marker underneath, because the marker is that initial like wash of color. It blocks things out, and then you come in with that pencil and get those fine details. Ooh, I just love it. Now that that layer of hair is done and looking very bubblegummy, it's time to go in and do the next level of shadows in the skin with my last and darkest watercolor pencil. I'm just going in and kind of in some ways fine lining like the mouth and the nose, nostrils and stuff, and then doing just very, very subtle like shading into the cheeks and cheekbone hollows. As you can see, I'm definitely a lot more easy on my touch with this marker or this pencil, as opposed to the first one where I did a lot so that I would kind of cover the whole, you know, so I could do a whole wash. And then similarly to the first one, obviously I'm getting a wet brush and just, you know, I'm being really careful with this one. I really don't want to overdo this color. I don't want my shadows to be too dark. I already plan on fine lining later with some of my Sharpies. So I just, you know, I take it easy. I'm going in with this color with a steady hand. Next I'm going in with this very saturated like berry color. I'm just kind of accentuating some of the eyeline and like the waterline, because before I had it, like it was all basically still that initial color pencil that I had started with, and so I needed to start popping those features out. I also, probably one of the most important steps with this pencil is I kind of start hashing out the eyes and deciding if I'm wanting them, like where I'm wanting the highlight to be, if I'm wanting it all, and the pupil again, if I'm wanting it all. So my original sketch didn't have a pupil or a highlight. It was like a gradient eye for the iris, but you know, I ended up deciding that I would like there to be a pupil because it gives me more of a chance to use different materials and colors in this drawing. So yes, that's what I'm doing with this pencil. I do eventually end up taking the same pencil and using it in the hair as well as a next layer of depth and contrast in the hair, because the hair is the next darkest thing behind the circle in the background. They really balance each other out compositionally, and yeah. At this point, you can kind of tell that the hair is really coming together. It's really starting to have a great depth to it, a lot of tonal range, and I'm constantly going back and forth between the dark berry color and the next lightest pencil, and blending those two together, making sure everything looks nice and seamless and snatched and whatnot, what the kids be saying these days or whatever. And then I'm going in, and this was probably one of the better decisions I made on this piece. At first I was really nervous about it, but I decided to use some of my glitter gel pens for the eye color. And I was, like I said, I was so nervous. I was like, oh, this is gonna, like, you know, make or break this piece. But it was, man, I really loved how the one gel pen was so neon, and it gives her eyes this weird kind of magical look, and of course they're glittery. So I used two of my gel pens on the eyes, a darker one to kind of do the deep darks of the eyes, and then that super neon one that really just draws you in a very kind of creepy, mysterious, sort of haunting way. And then I'm going in with my Sharpies now, my fine liner Sharpies, and this is kind of when the piece starts to come together, like as a whole. I'm more or less fine lining the piece, starting to really accentuate certain areas, and I finally put eyebrows on her, for those of you that were watching and were just really thrown off by her eyebrowless stare. So yeah, I'm also using my fine liner Sharpie for that to do the individual hairs. Yeah, I think one thing that I really liked about my initial sketch that I don't like as much about this one is the shape of the eyebrows. She had really bushy eyebrows in the first one, and I kind of wish she had that in this one, in this rendition of her. Her eyes are huge in this one, on purpose, don't get me wrong, but I feel like the eyebrows look a little too small next to them, so it is something I would have changed. So yes, I'm still fine lining. Hopefully I put this pen down soon. Alright, come on. You got this. No need, come on. Nope, still going. That's fine. So after I finally put down my fine liner Sharpies, I get out my regular tip Sharpies. Ooh! I take one of my lighter pink ones and line out the shirt. And then I add cute little little stripes to the shirt, you know, I don't know. I felt like I needed a pattern somewhere in here. In hindsight, I think doing a pattern on the circle in the background would have looked really nice. I didn't think of that until now. Nothing I can do. Yeah. And then more gel pens. You know, I actually didn't realize how much I loved using these gel pens. And the idea of using them in an actual, like, artwork before I just used them in, like, my calendar and things. I just really love the metallic shades and shapes. Here I'm swatching them out so I can kind of see where I want them distributed, and after doing that I realized I wanted the shirt to have a darker anchor to again balance it out with the darker hair, the darker circle, and then the darker shirt, and then the skin that connects it all is the lighter pastel part. So I choose, after swatching, I choose one of the gel pens that I like and do little stitching details, little embroidery detailing on the shirt just to give it a touch of interest with one of my little metallic gel pens, which is nice. Here soon I'm gonna zoom in on it. Yeah, there we go. So I just do these little like dashes, and you know, it's a very subtle touch, but I felt like it gave it what it needed. And then, oh my god, my favorite part of this drawing, this whole drawing. See, here's me going in with that peach color again. I told you I use it a lot. Yeah, so my favorite part of this drawing is going in with one of the glitter and metallic pens and giving her a little star earring and a little hoop, and it's just so precious to me. And it looks like little metal jewelry because of the way it shines, and like metallic, metallic. It was just perfect. Okay. Oh, I can't wait to use these gel pens in artwork again soon. And then I'm working on the choker necklace right now. I just forgot to zoom out my camera. There we go. Wow. I just did kind of a really basic circle, and I didn't record it. I later went in and put a star inside of the pendant. Now I'm going in with my Pilot G2 gel pen and giving a little more dimension to the eyebrows by doing like some darker strands of hair throughout the brow. And I go in with my last and darkest pink pencil. It's almost brown, but not quite. You can see right here, it's definitely a pinky red tone. And I really needed this. I really needed this. And I had it up on top of the mat board because I wanted to use it last. I knew I was going to use it last. And so with this color, I go in and I'm doing eyelashes right now. I really kind of put this pencil similar to the peach one. It gets used a little bit of it gets used everywhere. Because it's important to have that balance, and because it is the darkest color. The lightest color and the darkest color, to me, should kind of be used a little bit of everywhere. I'm also deepening up the irises, or the pupils of the irises on the eyes. You know, again, contrast is important to me. Especially when doing monochromatic works. Doing the bottom lashes now. I also take it into the mouth and do the little part of the mouth where the lips are separated. And here I am with that peach color again. I'm kind of blending it out just a little bit, you know. I felt like I didn't want it to be too harsh. I really wanted everything to look cohesive so that you couldn't even tell that I was using like 30 different items in this piece. I'm going in again and deepening up the eyebrows just a little bit with the pencil right here. And then I go in, deepen up the shadows on the collarbone around the chin. And then again, blending it out with that peachy color. That's one thing I love about colored pencils that a lot of people don't realize is like that they blend really well, especially if you have a nice buttery colored pencil like Prismacolors or something a little bit better than like a Rose Art like $1 pack of colored pencils. And even those, I mean, like, to each their own, man. I bet you can get something kind of nice with Rose Art if you really try. Oh, and if you're the sensitive type, look away now because I'm adding some white gel pen and it's technically not a pink art supply. Wee-oo. Wow. Okay, so here is a close-up, and guys, I'm so happy with how it looks. I think for my first one of these all pink art supply sort of videos, I'm pretty happy with it. Like, it could be way worse. And so here I am signing it with one of my Sharpies, which aren't archivable, but that's okay. Oh, and then I am adding in a little star. So, yeah, thank you. I would really appreciate it if you guys showed support on me making little videos like this. If it is honestly something that you like, I would really appreciate you liking the video so that I can know to make more content like this, more sit down and drawing things. Or if you want to support me in another way, you can go to my Redbubble account, get this print on something, and even if this print isn't your cup of tea, I have so many other like paintings and drawings and graphic design works on there. At least go check out my page and give it a like, or subscribe to my YouTube channel. Every like little thing that you can do really shows me that I should keep making videos, and yes, so thank you. Subscribe.